Good evening from Joliet, Illinois. Welcome to today's CCAC soccer matchup between the University of St. Francis and Indiana University Northwest. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call tonight as we are underway. A little bit later than originally scheduled, but we are moving now. Fighting Saints of St. Francis wearing gold and white. They move from left to right here in the first half, shooting into the south goal. Visiting Red Hawks of Indiana Northwest are in red and black. They go from right to left and are currently moving in that direction now, trying to shoot into the north goal. Both teams trying to break out of a funk, although I guess, relatively speaking, it's not so much a funk for Indiana Northwest. They haven't lost a game in about 3 weeks, over 3 weeks, in fact, and they've lost just once in the last month. So the Fighting Saints try to make a move, run out of steam, as it's picked up by the IU Northwest defense. Indiana Northwest does not have a win during that stretch I just mentioned. They've tied their last 3 and 4 of their last 5, but they remain winless on the season, 0-9 and 4. They have, however, gotten results in 4 out of 5 conference matches. They're 0-1 and 4 in the CCAC. St. Francis comes in with an overall record of 4-5 and 2. They got off to a really good start this year, 4-1. They have not performed well in conference play. No wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws this year. This is the Fighting Saints in control of the ball along the near sideline. Passed forward and knocked dead again by the IUNW defense. It's Nicholas Flores who came up with the stop. Let's read through the entire starting lineups for the Fighting Saints and their first-year head coach Nigel Dillard. It's Pablo Alvarez, Victor Salou, Anders Santamarta, Anthony Durka, Bruno Silva, Miguel Zavala, Julian Soto, Jesus Flores, Tony Gia, Santos Contreras, and the goalkeeper is Fede Fagaro. Give you his numbers in just a moment as IU Northwest tries to make a move, rolling off to the far sideline and out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the team that is coached by Ben Kasoski in his second season. Their starters are Cesar Lopez, Dom Bixman, Trevor Hamilton, Luis Limones making a run into the box. Here come the Red Hawks. There's the cross. Stifled for a moment. Ball loose still in front of the net. Saints looking for the clearance, and now finally they have it. We're scoreless, 2.5 minutes in. Rest of the lineup for IU Northwest: Alan Nunez, Avion Lane, Trey Adams, Tyler Davis, Omar Mahason, Nicholas Flores, and their goalkeeper is the junior Devin Collins out of Stansbury Park, Utah. Fighting Saints in possession. It's Jesus Flores. Flores crosses it, and it's caught by Collins. Devin Collins is appearing in his 10th game this year out of the 14 played by his team. He's allowed 22 goals, an average of 3 per contest. He's also made 53 saves and has a save percentage of .700 on the season. He does have 1 shutout this year. Starting goalkeeper for St. Francis is Fede Fagaro. His 11th game played this year. He's allowed 24 goals, an average of 2.53 per contest, 43 saves. He's got a .642 save percentage and 1 shutout for the year. St. Francis trying to make a move, stopped quickly. Kyle Scott making the stop for Indiana Northwest. Here comes St. Francis again. Tony Gia passes to his left. There's the cross, intercepted. Still in the attacking zone for St. Francis, no longer, as it is cleared by Indiana Northwest. We are down 1 line judge right now to start this game, nearly 5 minutes in. There's a cross in front of the net and knocked over the net. Too high on the shot from Indiana Northwest. It was Dom Bixman, the junior from Crown Point, Indiana. Got a nice feed right in front of the goal. Tried to score on the first touch and just didn't get a clean foot on it. Launched it well over the net and out of bounds. So 2 good scoring chances already in this game for Indiana Northwest, a team It doesn't score a ton, just 1 goal a game, 13 goals in 13 games played. They haven't scored more than 1 goal in any contest since September 14th. They've been darn near 2 goals already today, just 5 minutes into the action. There's a pass towards the net and deflected out of bounds. We're going to get a corner kick coming up here for St. Francis. First corner kick of the game. And it belongs to the home side. Set up by Victor Salou, grad transfer from Liberia. His pass was deflected out, and so the corner kick comes in. It'll be Santos Contreras, fifth-year senior from Kiwani, taking the kick for St. Francis. A high arcer towards the back post and a takedown. Foul called on St. Francis. Whistle blew right in front of the net on the corner kick. Saints give it up quickly. Here come the Redhawks. Tyler Davis passes it ahead. This is Cesar Lopez working it into the middle of the field. And Trevin Hamilton. Anders Santa Marta passes to his right along the near sideline. St. Francis able to keep the play moving into the center circle. Durka back outside. It's Soto, Julian Soto, the freshman's pass deflected, stolen away. And Indiana Northwest is now in possession on the defensive end. Nicholas Flores moves it right to left. Launched down the far sideline, a good chase for it. And a push from St. Francis there. No whistle. Play continues as a man goes down for Indiana Northwest. I think he's okay. Clock stops at 37:51. I imagine to tend to the injured player. I don't think he's injured, though. I think he's milking it a little bit. We do have a card given to Indiana Northwest. Clear that up in a second. We get confirmation on that with 37:51 on the clock. Goal kick for St. Francis. Headed back to the defensive side for the Fighting Saints. Soto rolls it over to the goalkeeper. And the junior transfer out of North Iowa Area Community College, originally from Madrid, Spain, sends it away across midfield. Gia loses the ball as he's challenged by the Redhawks and knocked out of bounds. It was a good takeaway by Alan Nunez, but Flores was unable to keep it alive. Anthony Durka was given the yellow card for St. Francis about a minute ago. First booking of the game. No score yet, 8 minutes in. Saints trying to change that here. That ball's rolled through well, but a little bit too far out in front of Jesus Flores, who can't track it down. It's out the end line for a goal kick. Good defense so far from Indiana Northwest. Very early. This is a team that has allowed 37 goals this year, but keep in mind they gave up 8 goals in the first game of the season and then gave up at least 3 in each of the next 4. So they gave up 3 or more goals in 5 consecutive games to start this season. Feels like a long time ago for Indiana Northwest because they've been very good defensively ever since. They've not been good offensively, as I detailed earlier. St. Francis makes a run here on the far side of the field, working their way to the edge of the box. Tapped out of the corner. Nice move by Durka. There's a pass to Santa Marta. His shot is deflected, makes its way to the back, and the Saints let it go out. We'll see a corner kick. Good chance for St. Francis. Nothing came of it yet, but they do keep play alive with the corner kick. This time it'll be Durka rather than Contreras, sending it to the back post. There's a header right in front of the net, popped up into the air. Bicycle kick goes over the net and out of bounds from Salou. Second corner kick of the game for St. Francis. Still no goals up on the board. Fighting Saints entered play today with 16 goals scored in 11 games. They haven't scored a ton either. They've been doubled up overall this year, essentially 31-16. So both these teams have unimpressive goal differentials this year, but they've come about in opposite ways. Like I said, Indiana Northwest, really bad defensively to start this season. They've been very good lately. Haven't given up more than one goal in any of their last 3 games, all of which have been ties. That's cleared out of bounds. There, it's out of bounds, right along the sideline on the Indiana Northwest bench. Sent in towards the net and grabbed by the goalkeeper. So whistle blows. There's a man down for Indiana Northwest. It's not particularly near the play, so I don't know when exactly this injury occurred. But play stops with 34:22 on the clock. It's Trevon Hamilton who's hobbling around right now. He was grabbing at his right knee as he was on the ground. As he's hopping up, he's got a noticeable limp, so we'll see if he sticks it out and then tries to stay in the game for right now. Looks like he's going to. Still limping around midfield, but play will continue with him out there. Ball is punted away across midfield, far sideline, and out of bounds. If nothing else, it gives Trevon Hamilton a chance to walk off that injured leg a little bit longer. Hasn't gotten involved in the play yet. St. Francis in possession, deflected out by the midfield of Indiana Northwest. Another throw-in coming up for the Fighting Saints. As opposed to Indiana Northwest's turnaround, the Saints have kind of turned in the opposite direction as far as the defense is concerned. Good defensive start to the season, not so much lately. Going back to the end of September. September 28th, they lost to Judson 9-0. In fact, they went on a 3-game stretch where they were outscored 16-3 during an 0-2-1 period against Trinity Christian, Holy Cross, and Judson. Those were their first 3 games of conference play. So they're trying to get the defense going again the way it was at the beginning of the season, whereas the Redhawks are trying to keep their momentum pushing forward the way it has been the last few weeks. Foul called on the Fighting Saints. Going over the back there. Free kick here for IU Northwest. In their own territory. It'll be taken by Nicholas Flores. Sent back to the keeper. Collins rolls it to his right, passes that direction. They'll start their possession from the far side. Long kick downfield. There is a defender back for the Fighting Saints. He's able to get to the ball first. Pablo Alvarez. Alvarez turns, tries to kick it upfield. He's turned away. Redhawks back in possession. Near sideline, it's Tyler Davis. Davis pushes ahead to Flores. Flores down to the corner. There's his cross, header. Out of bounds to the right side of the net. And that was last touched by the Redhawks, so we'll get a goal kick. Our third official has arrived. That's good. I don't think there was anything much going on this side of the field, right? No potential offsides or questionable calls on balls out of bounds. I don't even remember any throw-ins on this side of the field. So we've survived. We've survived the experience. We've got 3 officials now. And we continue play. Salou on the left side. Looking for Gia over the middle. A little bit too far out in front of him. On the backside of the play, though, Saints are able to keep it alive. Here's a shot from Anders Santamarta coming in from the back end of the play. And a diving stop made by Devin Collins. I don't think that was on goal. But it was a nice play by Collins to fall on top of it. Turning things the other way. Alvarez heads it high into the air. Rolled over to the far sideline and out of bounds. Down the center of the field, intercepted by the Fighting Saints. And a little shove committed by St. Francis, foul called. Foul went against the senior Durka, who's crouching now to the extent that we'll have to stop play again. We're ready to go. 30.5 minutes to go in the half. It's been a while since we've seen a real scoring chance. The Saints don't really have one yet, not a good one. IU Northwest has had a few. This may be another here. Jumping in and knocking the ball down is the goalkeeper, Fagaro, but a foul is called on the Indiana Northwest offense. Fagaro was unable to make the catch cleanly. He was brought down hard, and so he'll get a free kick. No harm done on that last free kick for Indiana Northwest. Redhawks have possession, pushed forward. There's a slide tackle and a foul called on St. Francis. Miguel Zavala going hard after the ball. Was that Pablo Alvarez? Yellow card is given. 29:52. So we started this game a little bit late, and we're running behind schedule here. We've had a lot of stoppages in this first half. Couple of injuries. That's already our second yellow card. Both of them have been given to the home side. Anthony Durka picked up one. It was either Alvarez or Zavala. I think it was Zavala who came in on the slide. So it's a free kick from 30 yards out. Sent in towards the back post, punched into the air, and sent towards the sideline. St. Francis has dodged that bullet. They've cleared it. Indiana Northwest trying to make a push. Ball stays in bounds. There's a man down for the Redhawks. Saints on the offensive end. Jesus Flores trying to create some action. The ball goes back to the goalkeeper, and Collins sends it the other way. Tony Gia was unhappy that a foul wasn't called when he was challenged a moment ago. The man went down for Indiana Northwest. No whistle was blown going either way. And the Saints ended up stalled as they looked for their first goal. They've got the ball back now, pushing it to the far end of the field. It's a cross from Salou. Contreras steps into the box, and he loses the ball. Now he deflects it back towards the back line and out of bounds. We've got a goal kick coming. Santos Contreras, second on the team in points this year with 6 of them. He's got a pair of goals and a pair of assists. There has been no dominant goal scorer for St. Francis this year. They've had 8 different players score. 6 of those 8 have at least 2 goals on the season. Dominic Bariolik is the only one with more than 2. He's got 3 to lead the team. Saints try to make a run. Nothing doing for Gia. Headed towards the box. Flores tries to make a push, but Collins gets there first. A little scary for Collins. For a second, it looked almost like the ball was going to bounce over his head, but it didn't. He was on it the whole way. Here's the counter strike from IU Northwest. It's Cesar Lopez leading the charge. Passed off to his right. Ball loose in the box and diving on top of it. Figueroa prevents any run from being completed for Indiana Northwest. Hamilton tried to make the play at the end there. Back on the offensive side for the Saints. Scott passes back. And Collins, the goalkeeper, has it once more. Sends a laser beam up to midfield. Saints got a head on it, but they weren't able to seize control of the ball. Now they have it on defense. 27 minutes to play. First half at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Just the fourth game this year that the Fighting Saints are playing at home as a foul is called on Indiana Northwest. They've gotten results in the first three. 2 draws and a win. Three of their final 4 will be at home, including today. Got one coming up next Tuesday, and then Saturday, November 2nd, we'll wrap up the season for them here in Joliet. Like I said, they've been good at home. 3-5-0 on the road, but 1-0-2 at their home stadium. Crossfield. This is Julian Soto. Soto takes his time dribbling and ahead to Jesus Flores. Flores tries to cut it back to the middle. Passes back to the defensive line. Big kick from Alvarez, high in the air and easily headed away by Indiana Northwest. Saints try to start over from near midfield. It's passed back and they'll really start over all the way back on the defensive side. Another big boot. It's deflected into the box, and that means it can be picked up by Devin Collins if he wanted to, which he did. He grabs it and flings it off to his right. Down across midfield. Indiana Northwest trying to get rolling here. A few good runs early in the game, nothing much lately. Both these teams seem like they're feeling each other out. Not a lot of heavy action so far. Not since the first couple of minutes. That's out of bounds. It was last touched by the Redhawks. A goal kick coming. Or is it going to be a corner kick? It was last touched by the Saints. We've got an injured man for St. Francis. Anders Santamarta is down. And he needs a little help from the training staff. So another injury. They've been plentiful tonight. It's a cool night. I don't know if that has any impact on any potential muscle strains. Got to be careful to stretch on these cold nights because the muscles will tense up quickly. And we really haven't had too many days like this during soccer season. Really, the last 3 or 4 days have been the first cool ones all year. It's been warm all through September and through early October as well. It's supposed to warm up again later this weekend, so weekend games around the CCAC should be in pretty pleasant weather. Corner kick coming up for Indiana Northwest as we are ready to resume play with Santa Marta heading towards the bench. Kick is played in short. Wide once again. The cross goes too far, drifting to the back end of the field. Indiana Northwest still on the attack. It's knocked out of bounds by the Fighting Saints. We've also reached that time of year where they're not going to get any help in this cool weather from the sun. 7 o'clock start times will start in complete darkness. Playing under the light of the supermoon tonight. Biggest moon of the year. The hunter's moon. We should turn the lights off, see if we can still see. There's a shot deflected before it reaches the net. And there's the clearance from St. Francis. At midfield, Fighting Saints try to keep possession. Tapped ahead. It's Gia rolling it forward. Contreras gets a touch on the ball. Salou. Off to the left. A cross is intercepted and cleared. Here come the Red Hawks. Lopez pushes forward. A couple of St. Francis players down for a moment. Dom Bixman has a chance with the cross. Bixman hooks up with a teammate right in front of the net. A shot is deflected. Second shot is good. And it's 1-0 Indiana Northwest on the rebound goal from Cesar Lopez. Trevon Hamilton got the first shot that was stopped. A couple of deflections in the box there before Hamilton was able to put one close to the net. Deflected back, and Lopez was there to clean it up and make it 1-0 Indiana Northwest in the 22nd minute. There's another man down for St. Francis. Pablo Alvarez has been very slow to get up after that goal was scored. So a little extra celebration time for Indiana Northwest as they take a 1-goal lead early in this one. Plenty of time for the Fighting Saints, who were shut out at St. Xavier on Saturday. So it's been a while since their last goal. Trying to get rolling again, coming off of back-to-back losses. Alvarez is back on his feet. We play on Armani Lagunas in for St. Francis. I think he came on when Santa Marta got hurt. So he gets involved here. It's Anthony Durka passing to his left. Saints make their way up the sideline. Just across midfield. Pass back to the defense once again. Lagunas gave it right up. Thought he was going to get Zavala down the sideline, but he didn't. So it's stolen by Indiana Northwest. This is Davis. Knocked off his foot. Good defense from Soto. Redhawks still in possession, but they have to start it over. Alan Nunez gives it behind him to Flores. On the far side of the field, Trey Adams works it ahead. There's a good run for Indiana Northwest. Down to the back line, looking for help. They're going to need to cross it at some point here. Zavala steps in front, knocks it out of bounds. And we've got a corner kick. 22 minutes to play in the first half. Already a 1-goal lead for the traveling Red Hawks. Trying to double that from the corner. Davis has it lined up. Kick comes in, and it goes over everybody's head. Out of bounds. Throw in for St. Francis. He'll take that as a defense. Stop a corner kick without anybody having to touch the ball. Now the Saints have possession. Contreras taps it back behind him. Here's Lagunas. Off to his left as the Fighting Saints reverse field. Zavala, big kick. Headed the other way by Indiana Northwest. After a little bit of pinball, Saints are in possession. On the far side of the field, Two sides go back and forth with it. It is on the attacking side for St. Francis, but can they take possession? They haven't been able to sustain it just yet, and now they do lose it. So Indiana Northwest is in control of the ball. We're only 25 minutes into the action. Indiana Northwest obviously has the lead, but even aside from that, I think it's fair to say that they've been the better team so far in the first half. Long way to go. Still a little bit more than an hour to play in today's game as the Saints try to make their move to equalize this thing. Gia chips it towards the near side of the box. One header and back outside. Contreras moves to his right, takes a shot. It's a little bit too high and out of bounds. Still a good attempt from Santos Contreras. Saints trying to make something happen. They weren't able to do it that time, but it's a good aggressive play. Contreras leads the team. This is his 20th shot of the season. Half of them have been on goal. Collins steps up, keeps it on the ground to his right. Here comes Adams. Trey Adams' ball is deflected. Davis again, long way down the field. Kept in the air on a couple of headers. And this time the Saints let it go. As it's picked up by Fede Fagaro. Man down for the Saints. Gio wanted a foul call. This is the second time today he's lobbied hard for a whistle that he hasn't gotten. Durka passes to his left, back to Soto. And Julian Soto rolls it back. Long kick down towards the corner. Adams jumps in front, takes it away for IU Northwest. A couple of bounces. The Saints will send it back to their goalkeeper, and they'll restart this possession. Just over 18 minutes to go in the first half. Nearly lost to Indiana Northwest. No chance at a quick shot from them. To the sideline, Nicholas Flores. Flores left-footed kick to the opposite end. Stifled by the Saints defense. Down the middle of the field. Saints D steps up again. No chance for Indiana Northwest. St. Francis on the counter here, going to the far side. Davis tracks it down, sends it out of bounds. Quick deflection out. Saints throw it back in, working on the far side of the field. They bring it back into the middle. It's Contreras. Contreras with a nice little fake. Ends up passing it to his right, and Jesus Flores. Flores dribbles it back to the middle of the field. IU Northwest staying disciplined on defense, not allowing any seams for the Saints to work their way through. No forward momentum so far in this possession. Now a ball into the box, headed away quickly. And downfield. Indiana Northwest comes up with a stop there, but the Saints have it back. Durka makes a good move to get around a defender. He dribbles back towards the middle. Contreras in the center, out to Flores. Jesus Flores going one-on-one. Nowhere to go. Contreras, one touch, takes the shot, and another nice save made by Devin Collins. Second shot in the last few minutes from Contreras. They've both been aggressive shots. They both looked good from tough angles. One of them was just inches over the crossbar. That time a shot on goal that Collins was able to smother. Nicholas Flores' pass is intercepted, but only briefly. The Redhawks on the move again. It's Trey Adams stepping up from his defensive position. Adams not met by a defender yet, so he fires a shot, and it's knocked away by Fagaro as the ball is loose in play and now finally out of bounds. Adams was just working his way in, and nobody ever picked him up. So he said, why not take the shot from long range? It was a good-looking shot. Fagaro was in position to knock it away. Was not able to make the catch cleanly, and that's why the ball is still alive on this end of the field. And now the Saints are able to get it out of there. 15 minutes in the half as Salou passes off to his left. Looking to get the ball back, but he doesn't. Instead, it's given up back behind the midfield stripe again. Soto passes ahead, intercepted. Good interception from Indiana Northwest. Dom Bixman passes to his right. Salou able to get in front. Ball still alive, though, for Indiana Northwest. Looking for the cross here. Defense steps in once again. Shot deflected before it goes anywhere. Bounce in the box in front of the net. Tough play for St. Francis as they try to get that clearance, but Indiana Northwest is holding on to the ball. There finally is an interception from the Saints. We'll see if they can make some hay with numbers. Doesn't look like it. It was 2-on-2, but the defensive two won out very quickly. 1-0 Indiana Northwest. They got a goal from the freshman Cesar Lopez. For Lopez, it was the team leading 4th goal of the season, breaking a tie with Trey Adams for that team lead. Adams tried to get him right back with a shot a few minutes ago that would have evened it up at 4-4 in terms of goals scored this year. But Fagaro was able to make a stop on that one. Throw in St. Francis, near sideline. Jesus Flores will do the honors. Armani Lagunas, the freshman, checks out for the Fighting Saints. So they go back to their bench and call on Antoine Esparza for the first time, another freshman. This one from Romeoville. Flores between the legs of the defender. This is Gia. Nifty ball work from Gia, but can't find a passing lane. Taken away by the Redhawks. Deep kick, headed away. The Saints are controlling possession a little bit better lately. Still aren't getting some sexy scoring chances, but they come. There's the cross. Gia can't get it off the first touch. Taken away. You figure they come, the real scoring chances, if they hold on to the ball consistently. And an easy stop for Devin Collins as he just stepped up on a high arcer from Julian Soto. No problem for the Redhawks there. One bounce, that ball's played by Indiana Northwest, out of bounds, throw in St. Francis. And the clock stops. We've got a yellow card. .11:47 on the clock as Bixman is given the yellow card. Saints get the free kick from 11 yards in front of midfield. Skid it into the box. Ball loose. There's the shot deflected before it gets to the goalie. On the rebound, another chance for the Fighting Saints. Esparza didn't get there on time to receive that pass. Saints try it again, working their way down to the corner. There's a pass, quick shot, no, and this time Collins falls on top of it. So that's that. Two chances during that possession for St. Francis. We're not able to make anything out of either of them. Still time to go before halftime. Indiana Northwest has led by a goal for the last 13 minutes or so. 22nd minute score for Cesar Lopez, his 4th of the year. Flores along the sideline, tries to weave his way back in. Defense was a little bit too tough there from Nicolas Flores. Jesus Flores again. Down into the corner. And a diving play made by Collins on what looked like a cross. From Dominic Bariolik. Here come the Red Hawks all the way down the field and out of bounds. We've got a goal kick. 10 minutes to go before halftime. Saints looking to tie it up before we go to a break. Indiana Northwest looking to extend their lead, but they haven't had any good chances lately. Had a few good ones early. Obviously, they had the good one right around the midpoint as they got the goal on it. The last handful of minutes, they have not kept Fede Figueroa busy. That's just the way the Saints prefer it. Here's Contreras to Flores on the sideline. Knocked off of Flores' foot. Tyler Davis tries to turn it around, but it's taken away by the Saints again. Here's Gia. Knocked off of his leg and out of bounds. Luis Limones, last one to touch that for Indiana Northwest. Juan Jimenez is coming in off the bench for the Fighting Saints. Jesus Flores, the senior, departs for the freshman. He'll get a little break late in the first half. Throw in for Jimenez. It's Alvarez towards the net, headed away by Adams. A chance for Indiana Northwest on a counter. Too many defenders around. Saints take it away and lose it just as promptly. It'll stay in bounds over on the far side of the field. So the Saints defense will let it roll a little bit. Jimenez to his left. Playing a little keep away right now. Saints trying to lock down this possession. Now deep ball sent towards Gia, but he can't get there before the defense closes in from IU Northwest. They look to double their lead. Nicolas Flores, the only Flores on the field right now, which makes things a little bit easier. Jesus Flores has sat down for St. Francis. It's not bad enough that they have the same last name, but they play right in the same spot on the field, right next to each other. Too many interactions, if you ask me. Throw in Fighting Saints. Down by a goal. Man down with 7:32 on the clock for Indiana Northwest. Their injured player's Alan Nunez. He's lying down on the blue track on the near sideline. It's an uncomfortable place to lie, I'll tell you that much. So you got to be in some pain to do that. You know, to cancel out the discomfort of lying down on a track. But he stays in the game. He's all right. Jimenez to Flores. In between a couple of teammates. The Saints keep working back further and further. Durka tries to cut it up the sideline. Durka keeps it inbounds. Cross field, long run, can't get there. Jimenez will have to peel back as IU Northwest gets the goal kick. Peter Martinez is in. I could tell because I heard a "Go Peter" from the crowd, and well, they've only got one on their roster. Also, I saw him come in. So Peter Martinez in the game for IU Northwest. Just 6.5 minutes to play in the first half. The Redhawks would love to score again, but I think they'd also be okay with an uneventful 6.5 minutes where neither team much threatens. Saints are certainly not in desperation mode here. Weird stuff going on over there. The players fight for the ball, and finally a foul is called on St. Francis. It was Durka and Adams fighting for the ball. Adams was kind of flopping around on the ground, and Durka kept playing through it. So Durka is called for the foul for playing through the fallen man. Probably could have given it to Adams for lying on the ground around the ball as well. But it goes against St. Francis this time. Durka again playing aggressively, and this time he's fouled. It's called on Luis Limones, who doesn't like the call. A lot going on down there. 5:27. The official does not want to lose control of this thing, so he is slowing it down. A lot of stoppages in this first half. Alvarez had the ball set up for the free kick, but he set it up nowhere near where the foul actually occurred. So now he's frustrated as he's being told you got to move it. And now finally we're going to play soccer again. No whistle that time as man went down for the Fighting Saints. Ball loose in the box. And taken away by Indiana Northwest. Here's Contreras. Can't keep it in bounds. Ball thrown into Kyle Scott for Indiana Northwest. They're working quickly. Going across field from the near side to the far. Good takeaway. And here come the Fighting Saints. Under 5 minutes to play in the half. Salou sends the cross over to Gia, just a little bit over his head. Out of the reach initially of Devin Collins, but there was nobody on the back end there, so Collins was able to chase it down and dive on top of it. Nearly a really good ball from Salou to Gia for what could have been the first goal of the game for St. Francis. But it was just a tiny bit too high and over his head. Out of bounds on the Fighting Saints. Throw in for the Red Hawks. Bounces a couple of times. Two defenders there. So they're not able to cross it, knocked out of bounds, and it looks like they were not able to prevent it from going out the back line. They were trying to turn it into an IU Northwest throw-in, but instead it'll be a corner kick. Closing minutes of the first half, Indiana Northwest has been the superior team so far. They've got a 1-goal lead to prove it. Looking to double that lead late in the half. Ball is set for the corner kick. On its way in, headed away by the Fighting Saints. A good quick stop there. Another whistle blows. Oh, we got another man down for St. Francis. I was going to say the official's not near the play. I was wondering why he had blown the whistle, but the guy who's down is right outside the net right now for the Saints. So whatever happened to him must have happened on the corner kick. I didn't see him go down because I was following the ball. This apparently happened away from the play. 3:17 to play in the first half, and yet another injury. Been the walking wounded so far this half. A lot of guys have gone down, including In this case, number 22, Antoine Esparza, freshman from Romeoville. So he checks out for the moment, and will continue play with 3 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the half. Ball's over on the far side as we will resume play. The Saints bring in a sub, Dylan Frank, senior out of Lincoln Way West High School, not far from here. Frank comes in for the injured man, and here we go. Knocked out of bounds by IU Northwest. See if the Saints can generate a little offense before halftime here. Had a few opportunities in this first half, not a ton of them. Here's Jimenez. Jimenez rolls it back behind the midfield line. Alvarez pushes to the far side. 3 defenders just working it back and forth for the moment. Now Alvarez tries to make his move, but it's knocked away. Scott on the run for Indiana Northwest. But he can't get there before Soto can. Julian Soto passes back to his goalkeeper and allows him to clear it. Header from Durka to Jimenez. Jimenez tried to control it off the header, and he does now as he pulls it to the inside of the field. Pass deflected, stolen by Indiana Northwest. And turnabout's fair play. Jimenez jumps in front of a pass and steals it. Jimenez to the far side, Salou. Salou between a few defenders, hooks up with Contreras. Contreras has the ball knocked off his foot. It's taken away by Indiana Northwest, but immediately lost. Another chance here for St. Francis. Under 2 minutes to play in the half. Bariolik. Bariolik's ball is caught on the fly by Devin Collins, who hops out of the net. Indiana Northwest looking to add to their lead late in this half. Now they slow it down, back on defense. Long pass across field. Davis heads it, turns towards the middle. Davis gets it right back, chases down into the corner. Looking for that big cross. Jimenez in his way, and Jimenez comes up with the stop. Good play by Juan Jimenez. Throw in for the Fighting Saints as the clock will run down under 1 minute to play. Not a whole lot of time left in the half now. See if either team has one more run in them. Well, first chance is for Indiana Northwest, but they lose the ball out of bounds. Saints possession, and they'll have to work relatively quickly here as the clock is stopped again at 43 seconds. Alan Nunez was flopping around on that last play. I don't know, trying to waste time or trying to draw a foul, one or the other. There's a shot that will go just wide of the net. Collins was a little bit off balance. So if that one had been, it looked initially off the foot like it was going to be a pretty easy stop for him. Because he was off balance, wasn't able to make the stop, and he was lucky it went wide. Under 20 seconds to play in the half. Saints try to work quickly to get one more shot off. They do, but Collins is able to squeeze it, and that'll end the first half. Really doesn't have to do anything else with this ball if he doesn't want to, and he won't. So we've reached halftime here in Joliet. Indiana Northwest has the lead. Got off to a little bit of a late start, but then a quick start once we did get going from the Redhawks. Their freshman, Cesar Lopez, got on the board in the 22nd minute, and that goal has stood up so far. So we'll go into the second half. 1-0, Indiana Northwest on top. I'll get you the first half stats along with the second half action in just under 15 minutes. 1-0, Indiana Northwest at halftime. CCAC soccer action on the USF Sports Network. 45 minutes down, 45 still to go. It's the start of the second half here in Joliet. St. Francis trails Indiana Northwest 1-0. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for this matchup, as it was pretty even in the first half. A weird first half of play, very physical. 10 total fouls called, 3 yellow cards given out, a lot of stoppages to the game. Saw a handful of players get injured, including Ander Santamarta for St. Francis. He's the one guy who had to leave the game and has not returned. So we'll see if he is back at some point during the second half. He had a couple of shots in the first half. Saints had 10 of them as a team as we're underway in half number 2. Indiana Northwest had 8 shots in the first half. Shots on goal were 2 for the Fighting Saints and 3 for the Red Hawks, which means that both goalkeepers made 2 saves. In the case of Devin Collins, though, he's a perfect 2 for 2. He saved both shots that came his way. St. Francis is trying to take possession open this second half. They haven't given it up yet, but now they have. Indiana Northwest racing down the center of the field, going to the far end. Long pass downfield to Avion Lane. Lane working hard against Salou, shakes free of Salou and rolls it out to his right. There's a cross, back post, and cleared. We got a whistle and a foul called on the team in red. Indiana Northwest is trying to win their first game of the year. They're in position to do so. All they've got to do is hold on to a 1-goal lead for the final 45 minutes. The lone goal in this one was scored in the 22nd minute by Cesar Lopez, his team leading 4th goal of the season. It was assisted by Trevon Hamilton. For Hamilton, it was the first assist and 5th point of the year. That came on a shot. His shot was deflected, and the quick rebound from Lopez was knocked in. So he'll take the assist any way he can get it. It did not come on a pass, though. It did come on a shot. It's been 1-0 ever since. St. Francis has had a few scoring opportunities. Primarily, they've come from Santos Contreras, who has created some good shots, but hasn't been able to get one by Devin Collins. Haven't seen a whole lot from the offense of Indiana Northwest since they scored. I don't think they've changed their philosophy dramatically. It's not as though they've backed off completely, but the Saints defense has stepped up. Speaking of the Saints defense, ball goes back to Fede Figueroa. And now here come the Fighting Saints on offense. Ball rolled ahead. Flores, that's Nicholas Flores for IU Northwest, able to get in front of that ball. He's dragged to the ground and a foul called on the Fighting Saints. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Neither team has taken a shot yet. Header to the middle of the field. Trying to get Hamilton. Hamilton's able to touch it out to Lane on the near sideline. Avion Lane works against Zavala and dribbles it straight out of bounds. I don't know if Lane lost his balance there or just kind of lost his feel for where he was on the field. Good defense from Miguel Zavala, and Lane just dribbled straight out the back line. Pretty even first half, as I mentioned. I went through the shot totals. They were even in fouls, 5 apiece. They were even in corner kicks, 3 each. We don't measure this, but I imagine they were about even in time of possession. Long run Contreras off the ball from Salou, and Contreras can't reach it before it finds Devin Collins, the junior goalkeeper. So he slows things down for IU Northwest. Good interception by Salou. Can't keep it going, though. Here's Lopez, the goal scorer of today's game. The only one so far. Tapped back to Trey Adams. Adams, who transferred in from Purdue Northwest, sends it down the near side. The ball from Lopez is deflected out of bounds by Alvarez, right in the corner and at a good spot for Indiana Northwest because it's a corner kick. It went out the end line, just inches away from where it meets the sideline. So fourth corner kick of the game for the Red Hawks. The ball is set down. We're ready for the kick. Sent in back post. It skims the head of a Red Hawk on his way down there, but then goes straight out of bounds. It was off of Dom Bixman's head. He had his hands up. I don't know if he was frustrated that a foul wasn't called or that it was ruled out of bounds on him. There's a roll right into the center of the field and knocked away by the defense. Another chance for the Saints. Contreras. Contreras rolls it to his right. Couple of dribbles and it's intercepted. Saints work it back again. The shot sails over the net from Contreras and out of bounds. Good takeaway by the Fighting Saints. They can set it up from the defensive side. Antoine Esparza taken back by Indiana Northwest. Lopez rolls it out to Lane. Lane speeds his way around Zavala, falls to the ground. No foul called on Zavala. Or was there a foul called? No, there was not. It is going to be a throw-in for Indiana Northwest. Trey Adams steps up from the defensive side to get the throw here. He's got Ellen Nunez right behind him. Looking into the box. He'll take a running start and lob it straight in front of the goal. Tap back to Lane. Avion Lane working hard against Esparza. He's forced off the ball out of bounds once again. Another throw-in coming up for Trey Adams and IU Northwest. Lobbed right in front of that this time. Goes between a couple of defenders, but nobody there to clean it up for Indiana Northwest. So Figueroa's able to secure it. 1-0 Indiana Northwest has the lead. They've held that lead for a while now, about 35 minutes as a foul is called on the Fighting Saints. Here's Adams. Kick to the outside. Lane. Avion Lane crosses. Intercepted. Out of bounds. Sideline. Throw in for the Red Hawks. Indiana Northwest has gotten ties in 4 of their last 5 games. So they're no stranger to getting points recently, certainly in the month of October. Nice stop by the Fighting Saints defense. But it has been a long time since they've gotten a win. You got to go back to 2023. Santos Contreras on the sideline, rolls it off to his right. Here's Durka. Anthony Durka repositions, gets around the defender, taps once, gets it right back from Bruno Silva. Popped up into the air. And the Saints run is halted for the moment. Alvarez clears it for the Fighting Saints. And a whistle blows. Foul is called on Indiana Northwest. Esparza is down for the Fighting Saints, but he pulls himself up to his feet. The Fighting Saints are going to get a free kick. Here's Zavala. Salou on the near side. Chip downfield for Contreras, but intercepted. And a foul called on the Redhawks. They send Figueroa all the way up to take the free kick from midfield. The goalkeeper launches it into the box, deflected by IU Northwest, stepping in. Saints try to get a shot off, but nothing doing. We're going to get a corner kick here for St. Francis. It'll be their first this half. They play it in short, sent into the box. A lot of red shirts there, and they're able to come up with the stop. Chipped into the box again, headed once by Gia. There's Salute taking the shot and lofting it wide of the net to the left side. So a shot from St. Francis, but they're not able to convert. And they still trail it 1-0. Putting a little pressure on of late, though. Trying to force the tie in this game. Here's Zavala on the near side across midfield. Zavala pushes it ahead, now looking for help. Sends it right to Indiana Northwest. Flores didn't control it on the first touch, so he sends it down the far sideline. It's taken away by the Fighting Saints, and they lose it quickly. Foul called on Indiana Northwest. We're going the other way. The Redhawks fans voicing their concern, not too happy with the way the game has been officiated lately. It hasn't impacted the score, so their team still leads. Saints trying to change that here. Defense is moving up a little bit for St. Francis. Zavala passes back to Alvarez. Going to the far side, an easy interception for Flores. He lost it right away, though. Jesus Flores for the Saints knocks it ahead. Kyle Scott's able to clear it for the Redhawks. Davis pushes forward to the near side. Avion Lane. Lane chased down from behind by Salou, and Lane, as a result, didn't get a lot on that pass. Oh, we got a flag going up, offsides on Indiana Northwest. Here's Anthony Durka pushing it ahead. Gia loses it. A little frustrated with himself there. He's not able to get a clean push. Out of bounds, last touched by Indiana Northwest. Throw-in coming up for the Fighting Saints as they try to position themselves at midfield. Wait for everything to get sorted out. Here we go. And another whistle. We'll do it again. Indiana Northwest was able to beat St. Francis last year when the two teams met up. That was a 3-1 final. Nice work by the midfield of IU Northwest. Here's Dom Bixman. Bixman makes a turn, takes a shot, then an easy save for Fetty Fagaro. St. Francis fans calling for the handball. Doesn't get the call. Gia gives it up to Salou on the near side. Salou's cross headed away, but right back to him, and he won't chase it down. Instead, he lets it go out. He'll get a throw in out of it. A little soft on the throw, but it finds its way to Contreras. Here's Salou again, looking for a second cross to Gia. Off the head and a little bit wide. Nice ball that time from Victor Salou. He found Tony Gia's head. Gia just wasn't quite able to direct it the way that he wanted to, as it drifts a little bit wide to the left. So the Saints remain scoreless, trailing by 1. Over an hour into the game now, which means just under 30 minutes still to play. Isaac Macias is in for Indiana Northwest. Saints putting the pressure on quickly again here. Esparza gets the first touch for St. Francis off the goal kick. Miguel Zavala goes backwards. The goalkeeper sends it downfield. Headed once, back to Contreras. Contreras won the initial battle, but couldn't keep the play alive. Along the sideline, out of bounds. The throw in for the Redhawks coming up. A 3-1 win for Indiana Northwest last year was a little bit out of character for them. This year, of course, they're fighting for their first win of the season as a foul is called on the Fighting Saints in a pretty tough position. Not an easy angle to score from wide to the left there, but they're less than 20 yards from the goal here, so we'll see if Indiana Northwest tries to challenge Fagaro here on the free kick. It's going to be taken by Nunez. He approaches, sends it to the back post, headed away by St. Francis. Salou trying to control it, he does. He finds a man 2 levels down the field. Here come the Fighting Saints. It's Durka. Durka ahead for Bruno Silva. Silva's pass is intercepted. And Avion Lane takes it the other direction. Lane tripped up a little bit, but keeps control of the ball. He's got speed, flies by a couple of defenders, passes it off to the middle of the field. Here's a chance for Indiana Northwest. A diving stop. The ball is still loose. Second shot is wide to the right. And we'll get a corner kick from Indiana Northwest on a double save from Fetty Fagaro. Well played by the goalkeeper and the defense of St. Francis. A very dangerous play. I just don't think we've seen enough from St. Francis's offense today to think that they're going to get 2 goals to tie or 3 to win. Right now they need 1 to tie and 2 to win, which is a tall order as it is. Indiana Northwest has played stout defense. Not stout on offense on that particular try, though. Corner kick is touched once and out of bounds. Here's Adams. Adams downfield. Tap back to Scott. Scott, good ball into Hamilton and knocked off of his foot. Saints are able to clear. Just over 26 minutes to play in the second half. IU Northwest has been protecting a lead for a while now. Good challenge from Contreras, taking the ball away from Adams. Here comes Victor Salou. Salou taps it to the right, loses it, tries to get control back of the ball. Salou dribbles into the box, takes his shot from a tough angle, didn't get a lot on it. And play goes on. Salou was down on the ground, didn't get up in time to avoid an offside, so It's going to be a free kick here for Indiana Northwest. Trey Adams went down on a challenge a few moments ago from Santos Contreras. He was very slow to get up. He did pull himself back up, and he's walked back into the play. But he is grabbing at his face right now. So Indiana Northwest was a little bit short-handed there, playing without him, and I'm sure he would like it if the ball stayed on the other side of the field for a few more moments here. "25 minutes on the clock. Going the other way. St. Francis will get the throw here. I was talking about last year's meeting between these two teams. It was kind of an upset when Indiana Northwest knocked off the Saints 3-1. Like I said, it wasn't as bad for IU Northwest last year as the two teams fight for the ball, and Indiana Northwest takes it, but it's knocked out of bounds for another corner kick. Not like this year where they don't have a win. Last year they did have 4 wins, but not a ton, obviously. And they finished that season with an overall record of just 4-12-1. But they did take care of St. Francis, trying to do it for the 2nd straight year and pick up their first win of the season in the process. They lost their first 8, but have only lost once in the last month since that 8th game. Corner kick comes in, headed right in front of the net and cleared on the second touch from St. Francis. Long ball down the middle of the field. I don't know if the Saints are going to get anything out of this, but they're at least forcing the defense for Indiana Northwest to get back. So no problems after the corner kick. Foul called on the Saints here. Free kick for Indiana Northwest. Just over 23 minutes to play in the game. 1-0 Indiana Northwest. Redhawks have a free kick from 6 yards past midfield. Slightly off to the left side. Kick goes straight across field. They elect not to move forward on that free ball. Here's Trey Adams. Trey Adams dribbles around Nathan Sharp. Has the ball knocked away by Victor Salou. Salou keeps it in bounds. Now here come the Fighting Saints on the counterattack. Bariolek tried to get it back to Salou on the sideline. Drifted a little bit too far out in front of him and out of bounds. So the Saints turn it back over. Here's Scott for Indiana Northwest, giving it up to his left. Trevon Hamilton. Isaac Macias across midfield for Indiana Northwest. Dribbling up the near sideline. Passes down into the box. Lopez. Cesar Lopez's cross deflected and out of bounds. Pablo Alvarez got his foot on the ball. Alvarez tried to keep it in because he wanted to avoid the corner kick. Couldn't do it, though. It's another corner kick for Indiana Northwest. They've had a bunch of them. Haven't turned in any goals. A whistle blows here as Victor Salou tried to steal the corner kick away. It's going to be disallowed. They're going to let him do it again. 21:32 on the clock as it does stop here. Kyle Scott will take the kick. There it goes. Past everybody to the back post. It kind of rolls to a stop right in front of the net. Still loose. Figueroa trying to get involved in it. He can't. And now finally the ball's rolled away. And the Saints clear it to the outside. Kind of like a rugby scrum for a minute there. I wasn't sure where the ball was. Players for both teams were fighting to try to get it out. There's a man down for Indiana Northwest as the Saints get a goal kick. Kyle Scott lying on the ground right in front of the Fighting Saints goal. I think Scott's going to be all right. That's not Kyle Scott, sorry. It's 19, not 14. That's Luis Limones. Here are the Saints on the far side of the field, dribbling it across midfield. Rolling back towards the center. Zavala pushes it forward. One touch to Salou on the near sideline. Salou 20 yards out. Pass deflected out of bounds. Throw in coming up. We got a substitute coming on for St. Francis. Juan Jimenez is coming back in. Jimenez played a good chunk of time in the first half. Now he's back out there with 20 minutes to play in the second half. St. Francis trailing by 1, does not have a shot on goal in the second half. It's launched out of bounds by the Redhawks. Throw in coming up for Salou. Lobbed into Contreras and taken away immediately from Contreras. Rolled out of bounds at midfield. Throw in St. Francis. Saints are maintaining possession here. But the defense for IU Northwest has been too good. They've not been able to get anything going towards the net. They've had a few shots, a few close calls in this second half, but again, no shots on goal. So Devin Collins has been relatively relaxed down there in net. A foul is called on the Fighting Saints. Free kick for the Redhawks. Crossfield on the free kick. It's Trey Adams. Adams met by Contreras on defense at midfield. Passes it ahead to Macias. Macias taps it right back to his left, Luis Limones. Ball lost by Lopez. The defense of St. Francis is able to take it away. St. Francis on the far sideline, deflected out of bounds. Throw in coming up for the Saints. Well, whiff on that ball. That gives the Redhawks a chance. Ahead to Kyle Scott. Scott, one dribble. Pulls it back out. He got a little bit too far out in front of the play. Now has to reset. Wasn't able to get a shot off. Still working their way around the box. There's a shot and a goal. And they have doubled their lead. I think that was Cesar Lopez for the second time. Kind of a breakdown on the St. Francis defense. And it looked like a really good chance at first for the junior Kyle Scott. And Scott got in too deep. He found his way to the end line and had to pull it back outside. Usually when you have to reset in a situation like that, it allows the defense to get back in position, but the Saints never really did. And they paid for it. Second goal of the game, this one with 17:54 to play in the second half. 73rd minute goal. Makes this a really tall order for the Fighting Saints, who are trying to avoid their third loss in a row. It would drop them to 0-5-2 in conference play. IU Northwest one step closer to winning their first game this year. It'll be their first win in almost exactly a year. Chipped towards the net and out of bounds over the goal from Indiana Northwest. Goal kick, St. Francis. October 18th of last year. That's the last time that the Redhawks have won a game. 364 days ago. They're on the verge here They need to play tough defense for another 17 minutes. Saints need 2 goals to tie it up. Far side of the field. Bixman tries to turn it around. He's tackled out of bounds. It's going to go Indiana Northwest's way. Throw in. Lob down the sideline, taken away by the Saints defense. And a foul called on the Redhawks. Today's the first time since September 14th, and just the 3rd time this year, that Indiana Northwest has scored 2 goals in a game. They both come from the same guy. Here come the Saints on the offensive attack, knocked away. Cesar Lopez, the freshman, has scored twice. Came into today tied with Trey Adams for the team lead with 3 goals, and obviously Lopez is all alone now. 5 goals on the season for the freshman. Pass to the right side, sliding attempt by Lane, couldn't stop it, but it is knocked away by Indiana Northwest. Here's Durka. Durka launches it towards the net, and Davis makes the save. Or Devin Collins, sorry, makes the save. Another injured player for Indiana Northwest. Avion Lane. Lane went to the ground, and then he continued to play from the ground. Looked like he was pulling himself up, but as play stops, he goes back down. Clock stops at 15:37. Now we're ready to go again. As Lane checks out. Trey Adams down the near side, headed away by the St. Francis defense. Redhawks get it back. Here's Kyle Scott. Scott takes a shot from way out there, and it's wide to the left. That was nearly a 35-yard shot from Scott. He was in good position, had a good look at the net, but just way too far out. Not able to control it the way he wanted to. Long ball headed away. Saints take control. Saints on the move. It's Durka leading the charge, rolling it out to the right side. There's the cross. Looking for the head of Gia, but the defense was there for the Redhawks to come up with that stop. Under 15 minutes to play in this game. Big kick from Fagaro across midfield. Bounces a couple of times. It's Macias on the near side. Redhawks in transition here, and the Saints take it away. Header from Gia, and a whistle blows. Got offsides called. Tony Gia was offsides. So Indiana Northwest is in possession. It's Adams at midfield, near sideline. Passed back. Omar Mahason just let that ball go. The keeper wasn't really behind him. Collins had to chase it down. But it all worked out for the Redhawks as it's headed out of bounds by St. Francis. A substitute coming in for Indiana Northwest. It is Cesar Amaya checking in. Kyle Scott sits down. Cleared out of bounds by the Fighting Saints. Throw in coming up for Indiana Northwest. The edge of the box. Chipped forward and out of bounds. Goal kick coming up. We got another substitute coming in for Indiana Northwest, so they're bringing in the defensive reinforcements here. Trying to protect this 2-goal lead. Peter Martinez is back in. Martinez played a bit in the first half. Across midfield, taken by the Fighting Saints. Saints have to work quickly here, needing at least 2 goals in 13 minutes if they want to get a point out of this. Contreras rolls it to his left. That's Zavala. Head for Anthony Durka. Durka dribbles around one defender, trying to get by a second. Can't get the pass ahead of Trey Adams as he deflects it right back to Durka. Durka goes to plan B, sending it back to the defender. Alvarez steps up from the back line, launches a long-range shot, and it's well off the mark, out of bounds for a goal kick. Cross midfield, headed by Contreras. Saints trying to get that momentum back. Here they go, down the far side of the field. Jimenez works it ahead. Tap back to Bariolik. His cross is deflected, but another chance for Jimenez. Jimenez turns it to his right. Passes to the outside. Good defense from the Redhawks. Saints haven't been able to penetrate it yet. There's Contreras. Rolling to the near side, Zavala. Zavala's cross is picked off by the goalkeeper, Devin Collins. He was looking for the head of Tony Gia. And Collins just got there a hair ahead of Gia. Nice work by Collins, getting there first to get the stop. Contreras gets it around Martinez. Taken by Trey Adams. Adams gets past Durka. Durka falls to the ground. Play continues. Far side of the field. Indiana Northwest in possession. Flores' ball into the box is deflected away towards the sideline. Stays in bounds. The Saints go to make their move. Down the field, long run. Gia can't get to it. Finds its way back to the goalkeeper, and Indiana Northwest is in control on the defensive end. They work it back and forth between their defenders. The whistle blows. And a quick stoppage here with 10:38 on the clock. So an offensive player down for Indiana Northwest. He's getting stretched out. So I don't know if this is just a cramp or what else it might be, but he's being pulled to his feet right now. It's Luis Limones, second time he's gone down today. Both in the last 10 minutes or so. So he sits down. Saints makes a substitution as well as Jesus Flores comes back in. 10:38 to play. It's Indiana Northwest 2, St. Francis nothing. Ball put back in play. IU Northwest gets the kick. They send it back to the goalkeeper, who's worked his way ahead for St. Francis. Gives a big boot down to the center of the field. Gia turns it to the right side, passes that way. A little bit behind the intended target on that pass, and the Saints have to reset from the defensive end. That's Soto giving it up to Antoine Esparza. Now they might reverse field, going to the near side of Miguel Zavala. Zavala, good first touch. Second touch is deflected by Martinez, and Peter Martinez has taken it away for the Redhawks. Martinez to the outside. Good run for Bixman. Bixman into the box, looking for the third goal, but he sailed it over the net and out of bounds. Goal kick for St. Francis. So The clock stops at 9:50. It stops for substitutions with Indiana Northwest ahead in the game. They bring in Joshua Adepoju. Trey Adams sitting on the ground for Indiana Northwest. I guess he was knocked down by Anthony Durka because Durka's just been shown a yellow card. And that's his second yellow card of the game. I don't know what happened there, but Durka's been given a yellow card. He had one in the first half as well. He was given a yellow in the 8th minute of action today. So that's number 2. He has to check out. It was already going to be very difficult for St. Francis to come back in this game, trailing 2-0 with under 10 minutes to play. But now they have to do it without one of their players, and now shorthanded. Tony Gia tries to chase that one towards the back corner, but the goalkeeper, Devin Collins, is able to jump on the ball first. Saints working their way up from the midfield. In the circle, it's taken by the Red Hawks, passed off to the left side. It's Adepoju getting his first touch of the game, and he's able to win the battle with the Saints defense to keep it alive. Middle of the field, it's pushed off to the near sideline. Here's Peter Martinez, not a great touch from Martinez. Out of bounds, throw in St. Francis. Big kick across midfield, off the chest of Gia, but not controlled by the Saints, taken away by the Red Hawks, and they're on the run once again. They don't necessarily need any more offense here, but anytime they can push the ball downfield, as they're doing right now. Peter Martinez has a wide open look at the net, takes the shot, it's wide, and on the back end, can't get the follow through. His shot went wide, Martinez's. And Don Bixman came in, nearly cleaned it up. That was just a bad play from St. Francis. Their defenders were all complaining, looking for a call they didn't get. And so nobody even bothered to go out and pick up Martinez. They nearly suffered for it. It's not a very heads-up play by the Saints defense. Under 8 minutes to go in this game. 2-0 the score. Indiana Northwest has gotten 2 goals from Cesar Lopez. Ball rolled forward. Another chance for St. Francis here in the box, but knocked loose. Victor Salou will try to keep it alive for the Saints. Salou fighting all the way to the back line. And the defense is able to knock it away. That's Martinez who clears it towards the sideline. It'll be a St. Francis throw-in. Lobbed into Miguel Zavala. Zavala to the backside. Jumping in and making the stop is Devin Collins. Good challenge defensively from St. Francis. Kept in play on the far side of the field. Saints come back to the middle. This is Flores. Rolling it ahead, looking for Contreras, and nothing there. Adams jumps in front instead. And the Saints start over from midfield. Here's Zavala. Zavala's pass drifts a little bit too far out in front of Esparza. Esparza not able to make the play on it. Another offensive chance for the Red Hawks. Martinez takes the shot. It's too high. Again, they'd love to add a goal, but right now just running some clock every time they push it downfield. They do force themselves to stop the clock here, though. It's a benefit to St. Francis because they're making another substitution. This time it's Kyle Scott coming back in. Junior from Great Britain has played the majority of the game. There's a chance for St. Francis. Into the box, knocked away by the Red Hawks. Contreras steps up, passes off to Salou. Salou in position with the left foot. His cross is intercepted. Another chance for the Fighting Saints. They get it right back. Sliding into the box, it's taken away again. Anthony Durko was eliminated on yellow cards a couple of minutes ago. Ever since his disqualification, obviously a little bit tougher for St. Francis playing a man down, but aside from that one defensive breakdown, they've acquitted themselves well in that regard. They are continuing to put the pressure on Indiana Northwest. This might be too little too late as they haven't been able to score. Trying to avoid getting shut out for the second consecutive game. They've been shut out 4 times total this year. Offsides called against IU Northwest. They have not, however, been blanked in back-to-back games. This would be a first. Their offense is struggling, though. Just 1 goal the game before that, so 1 goal over a 3-game stretch now. This one's not over yet, but there's not much time left, just 4:45. Far side of the field taken away by the Fighting Saints. Sent back to the goalkeeper. A little pressure from the Red Hawks. There's a whistle and a foul called on IU Northwest. I'm not sure what the call was there. Blew the whistle again. He allowed Indiana Northwest to take the kick. But it goes right back to the goalkeeper of the Saints. Down on the far side, it is St. Francis in control. Rolled back to the midfield circle. To the near end, Zavala. Nobody in the middle of the field as Zavala tried to get it into the box. Picked up by Collins, and Devin Collins, who's been in a little bit of a hurry in this second half, is not this time. He decided to slow it down, eat a few more seconds before kicking it out of bounds. Salou loses it out of bounds. Throw in for the Red Hawks. Isaac Macias back in for Indiana Northwest. Tristan Kososki is in as well. Kososki making his first appearance today. Actually, I'm looking at the stat sheet. It looks like his first appearance of the year. Well, it goes back and forth, up and down the field. Picked up by Collins, who rolls it to the outside. Out of bounds for a St. Francis throw with just 3 minutes to play. Salou chips it into the box where it's caught by Collins. An easy save for him. This one's looking pretty good for the Red Hawks to secure their first win in a full year. But again, they came in at 0-9-4. Those 4 ties have all come in the last month. They haven't lost a game in over 3 weeks. There's a shot. It's wide to the right. That was Kososki who got his foot on the ball, so Tristan Kososki got himself involved right away. It's on the stat sheet. Gia taps it back. This is Salou. Salou working with help from Alvarez, and Alvarez can't get to that ball as Adams makes a sliding stop. Saints lose it along the sideline. It'll be a throw in for the team in red. Ben Kososki's side is on the verge of picking up the win. It would extend their unbeaten streak to 4 games consecutively. This would be the 3rd loss in a row for the Saints, 4th in their last 5. They haven't won since September the 7th. They do have a couple of draws in there, but barring a miracle, this will be the first loss at home this season for the Fighting Saints. They had 1-1 and tied 2 of their first 3 home games. We're down to 1:20 to play, though, and another throw in here for the Red Hawks. Knocked out of bounds by Peter Martinez. Throw for the Saints. There's no ball there. Everybody's off chasing them. So Contreras has to track this one down on his own, which runs a few more seconds off the clock. We're under a minute to play. He rifles it in. Contreras gets it back. Saints looking at least to get on the scoreboard here. Trying to avoid the shutout for, again, what would be the second consecutive game. There's a good move and a foul called on Indiana Northwest with 42 seconds on the clock. It stops for a yellow card. Who's that? Isaac Macias? Isaac Macias called for the yellow card. A free kick here for the Fighting Saints, 30 yards out, just under 30 yards out. Set up by Dominic Bariolik. A lot of yellow cards today. There's been a lot going on down there. We've already seen Anthony Durka disqualified from the game. Well, now we've got an injury. Is that Martinez? I think Peter Martinez has a bloody nose. So he heads to the sideline. They'll replace him for the final few seconds of this game. Yeah, worth reminding you that there are just a few seconds, 42 seconds on the clock. There's Avion Lane coming back in. So if not for that yellow card, this one could be over for Indiana Northwest. But they're keeping the door open. The shot sails wide and out of bounds from Bariolik, and that should do it. Indiana Northwest will set up a goal kick, but once they get rid of this thing, they may not get it back. Clock runs down under a half minute to play. Towards the far sideline, across midfield and out of bounds. Saints will try one last push here. Zavala forces it ahead, and it's knocked away by IU Northwest. Avion Lane can just dribble around and let the clock run out. We're down to 3 seconds, and the final buzzer has sounded here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Big win for Indiana Northwest. It's their first of the season as they knock off the University of St. Francis by a final score of 2-0. Both goals came from the freshman Cesar Lopez. He got one in the 23rd minute and then came back with his second in the second half, essentially putting the game away in the 73rd minute. Again, making the score 2-0 at that point. The Saints were not able to respond. A wild game. A lot of whistles, a lot of fouls, a lot of yellow cards, and a number of players had to leave with what all looked to be minor injuries. But again, a lot going on in this one. And the final total ends up 2-0 Indiana Northwest. They outshot St. Francis 19-18, which obviously is very close, but the bigger stat, shots on goal, 7-4 in favor of the Red Hawks. 5 saves made by Fede Figaro, but he allowed 2 to get past him as well, as the final score goes to 2-0 in favor of the visiting side. Indiana Northwest improves to 1-9-4 overall. They pick up their first win overall and naturally their first in conference play as well, 1-1-4. St. Francis falls to 4-6-2. They go to 0-5-2 in conference play. They suffer their third consecutive defeat, and they're still looking for their first win since the first week of September. They'll try it again not too far from now. Their next home game coming up a week from yesterday. Indiana Northwest gets a big cheer from their crowd as they come over to greet them along the sideline, celebrating their first win of the season. Our next broadcast of St. Francis soccer, 6 days away, 7 o'clock next Tuesday night. That's going to do it for today's broadcast. 2-0 our final score. Indiana Northwest defeats St. Francis. Until next time, Terry Bonadonna signing off from Joliet, Illinois. Have a good night.